Capriola just has been knocking on the door for 5. For a good season and a half now, 6:01.3 and 401 kilometres an hour is the PB. And Aaron's very specific about the RPM that he likes.
Some achievement for the team and something they can really work on.
Look, absolutely. I think Shane Weston really going from strength to strength. We only have to look at the last event that we saw here in our local track championship. Shane Weston in top comp taking out John Zapier in the final, as we see a replay from the deep end. And Shane actually doing a bit of a drive job in that first part of the track. Gets the car up on the tyres and through the top end safely. And it's a bit of a rock and roll ride there for Del Caro in the braking zone under parachutes.
Yeah, Del Caro went 980 to the 60 foot, so that's real promising for them guys. So if they can just get the back half of the track right, that could really turn into a good number for those guys.
Well, Al McClure, our time has come to a close. Thank you so much for helping us out with our Group 1 qualifying session. We're going to be seeing you back later on this evening. I can't wait for all the spectators out in the crowd and listening online. Looking forward to it as well. We're going to bring Bridget back to the mic, and we are going to get underway for Super Street. So our first matchup we are into. If I have a look now, it looks like we have had a bit of a shake-up with our schedule, and we are into Super Street. If I look properly, here we go.
Yeah, Super Street, that's correct. Qualifying session 2, round
6. Spectators out in the crowd and listening online, looking forward to it as well. We're going to bring Bridget back to the mic, and we are going to get underway for Super Street. So our first matchup we are into. If I have a look now, it looks like we have had a bit of a shake-up with our schedule, and we are into Super Street. If I look properly, here we go.
Yeah, Super Street, that's correct. Qualifying session 2,
cubic inch Holden Commodore, Port Family Racing standing behind, partner in crime, Ethan. Are you racing this weekend, Ethan? Look. Yeah, you are. Cool, man. I don't know why I didn't see you yesterday. I'll come say a proper good day today. Double 001 on the tree. That was a good effort for Jamie. Still call rain, don't really matter. Wait. 11.18, and Jamie Smith with 11.07 with a 9 at 195 kilometres an hour. Beat the heat out on track in the Lubricants Lanes, Christopher Buren from Midland. Cool VE wagon. I'll dig the long roof model of a Commodore. This is where they reinvented how the rear of the car opens and hinged it halfway back up the roof, and allowing you to open your boot in a tighter space. Just for a piece of cool engineering. Against Cameron Lockett from Les Murdy, WA, 5.7 litres of Holden with an 8 at 190 kilometres an hour. Cameron Lockett, 11.9 flat at 191. The second of the big.
And we are back and qualifying for Perth Motorplex and the WA, home at WA Nitro Slam Southside Edgerton Super Street. Back on track with Darren Bassich and Jacob Mills. Your first pairing. This is qualifying session.
Ex-GTS Monaro, 383 cubic inches, that's a 350 with a stroker crankshaft. Ian Taylor from Mirrabooka, Western Australia with the 440 wedge, cylinder headed VG Valiant. Beautiful car, Ian Taylor's. I mean, the silver blue colour on the roof, you know, just in replacement of, yeah, it's awesome. Cool. It's just awesome. 1101 he's got as he's dialing, if that is a continuum from a previous event or whatever. And Spencer Jack Darwin against Boogie. He gets that on the reaction time with a 39. Craig Tate with a .135. An 11.057.
About a tenth of a second between the races and just shy of 4 metres at the end of the track.
Cameron Lockett, new VPW Pro Flow Lane, he's versing Wayne Prates. I was never really sure. I'm going to go Prates. From Balcatta, Western Australia. Thanks to WA Performance, as you can see also on in your VPW Pro Flow Lane. The driver behind the steering wheel is Mr. Lee Watson. He's from Midland, 6 litres of Pontiac GTO Coupe. You may have just seen Kirsty Rosemanaro cruising up the track and you might go, man, that looks pretty similar to that Pontiac I see. Let me tell you, they're pretty much the same ride. In the other lane of Phil Stewart from, what do we call that, Pizzybrook? Ford FPV GS Utility. 12.70 is in dialing, 11.20, so a second and a half to wait for Lee Watson. Out of the gate, we'll go Phil Stewart first, 3 counts down, reaction time, 37, very credible, better than Lee Watson's .126, giving him about a tenth's worth of advantage at the finish line if he can play with it.
Watson, 11.20 on the 11.20 dial in.
That's how you play the game, man.
Yeah.
And Lee Watson, great. Yeah, thumbs up from the crew on Beat the Heat. Yeah, good on you guys. One car still cruising through. The Pontiac GTO is still in the game. 11.85 is what you can read on the window currently of Cameron Lockett from Les Murdy's HSV GTS with 5.7 litres on board. This is Super Street Eliminations. He is against Wayne Prates from Balcatta. LS1 powered 5.7 litre Holden if he wanted a high five or is just trying to have a good time, and tell me where he's just situated in the qualifying field. Simon Travellini will be really happy with that.
Absolutely, as we are just updating our qualifying stats for Supercharged Outlaws, we are going to move on now.
Eliminations, getting it done. Georgia McSweeney's out there in her HK, Holden Utility. Bernie Ellaby is out there in the classic Holden HB. Holden Tirana with a 202. That's just a little old red motor. With a big squirt of nitrous. How fast does she go? 1085. That's awesome. 1085 from your red motor.
202 cubes. And this thing's a bona fide 10-second car.
Regularly he rolls it out. Normally it's like an 11.0 car on the reg, but in good weather, in good air, on a good night, when the stars align, a 1085 you can find from that little 202. We call them they're the mountain motors, the 202. The big blocks are the 186s, the small blocks are the 168s.
Love it. Bernie Ellaby. Not at all. Didn't do much of a burn out there at all. The car just ripped up, shot it forward off the water box. So fingers crossed this car's going to hook up fine. This is the ex-Batson Ute.
And how much does it look like that XU1 you just saw with the white and the purple? Pearl, that is the Batson colours.
Now, how are you with Pearl? Where do you stand?
Well, do you remember the tow vehicle, the truck that used to be down here, white with the pink and the green pearl?
Vaguely.
Changed my life.
Yeah?
Yep. That's all I can say. I will put a pearl on my Volkswagen due to curves. Here we go, classic old Bernie.
At 195 kilometres an hour, but Bernie Ellaby unfortunately not going to be bringing the little 202 powered HP Tirana back out as we look to a veritable cavalcade of beautiful, gorgeous cars.
Man, you can throw some energy into some words, I tell you. Ian Taylor is down on track from Mirrabooka. Look at that beautifully finished off roof to body line combination. And he is up against Cameron Lockett from Les Murdy in his 1.7 litre HSV GTS. Check out the trademark hop up in the leaf spring suspension. Unstoppable, and Cam Lockett already looking like he's falling behind, and indeed he was. Man, you can throw some energy into some words, I tell you. Ian Taylor is down on track from Mirrabooka. Look at that beautifully finished off roof to body line.